National Autism Awareness Weekend, which is why we're wearing the blue puzzle pieces here, in case you guys asked. I had a son, my son Jordan was born autistic and really came through his, obviously quite well with the career he's had in the NFL, college, collegiate, outstanding athlete, and everything else. So it was just important for me to recognize this weekend because I haven't experienced it personally, and hopefully giving some hope to so many of those moms out there, because here was a son that they said would never hold a job, he would never marry, and would just not be functional. And all he did was become a four-time state champion in basketball, play in the NFL, and start in football, basketball, and a track All-American all in the same year at the University of Oregon, graduated from the School of Business. So I want to encourage any parent out there that there is hope, and that's why I want to make sure we're supportive of that this weekend.
What's Jordan doing now?
Jordan works for Comcast, so he does Oregon football, does some Trailblazer basketball games, owns a greeting card business, and had 1,500 kids come through his character nutrition camp this summer. So I think he's doing pretty good. Bounced back on pretty well. Cal is certainly a talented team. I mean, really good athleticism, size, all of those things that people talked about in the preseason about them. With that said and done, starting our seniors, I thought we started the game a little bit jittery, but we had an opportunity, in my opinion, to just play smarter and a little bit tougher defensively to stay in the game. But the score was 39-31 when we drove the ball out of bounds, and then we had another bad defensive stand, and then we had a bad 2-for-1 look, and then we gave up a 3 to end the half. And there was that 3 to 6 minute stretch I always talk about. It seems like this team has, and that's where the game kind of got away from us in that point in time. And just felt like the second half we really couldn't get it under 10 and kind of just stayed at that 10-point game until they went on their run. Due again, I thought, to some lapses on our part, particularly at the defensive end of the floor. So with a team that talented, you've got to continue to stay focused and kind of locked in, otherwise the game can get away from you, and that's exactly what happened in this game.
A lot of younger guys playing in the second half. With senior night in the books, do you see over these final 3 games the young players playing more extensively?
I certainly do. And before I get there, you know, we look at it and we talk about it being a losing stretch. I've said this before. To me, it's learning. It's not losing, because you learn what to do. You learn what you need. You learn where you need to tweak your things. You learn about your opponent. You learn about the conference. And you get ready for the next round of building your program. And part of that right now is develop a Deontay and a Robert Frank. Those guys need to play more, and they'll get an opportunity to do that, because you're going into 3 ball games where the environments are going to be incredible in Eugene and Corvallis, and obviously over in Seattle, and then you're into the Pac-12 tournament in Vegas. So they get an opportunity now to see some things that they can take into the off-season that really will allow them to understand just how hard you have to work, how strong you have to be with your bodies with the competition that they've seen this year and played against. So certainly we want to give those guys an opportunity, but at the same time, the veteran guys have to continue to play, particularly the guys that are coming back. They got to stay locked in and grind through this thing, because the more we can grow them, the more we can learn from them, the more we can grind them through, the better they're going to be when they come back next year. And that's very, very important. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, because here we are with another short window. I'm going to travel Tuesday and play Wednesday. We've got to bounce back quick.
If someone wants to take a look at your team's chemistry, would they even know that you guys are in the midst of a losing streak?
You know, if you were to have seen practice the last couple of days, you certainly wouldn't know. And not from the fact that they're laughing and joking, it's just how hard they continue to come back and work, and the effort they give you, and the camaraderie they have. And you can see some of that in the huddles and everything else. But yet, at the same time, they are going through something that several of them have never faced before. So you have to guide them through it. So we had people at practice today, and that was my exact question I put to them. You would not know that team was the last place team in the conference by how hard they work and their energy that they have in practice. So the good thing about all that is there's no quit on them. You can continue to grow them because they haven't shut it down. The bad thing about it is we haven't gotten the program over the hump yet, and we need to come back and go at it again.
How important were Brett and Junior to keeping their spirits up, or at least keeping them pushing and moving forward?
You know, the thing about Brett and Junior, they did not have a lot of success here in terms of winning and leading this program. But as I told them in the locker room, the piece that they brought to the table that I'm so proud of is the character piece, because they allowed us to stabilize the program behind the scenes academically. It's outstanding. Those guys are great leaders. Never had to worry about them in the classroom. Socially, never had to worry about them. They brought their energy every day to practice. They handled themselves extremely well. Junior's part of the SAC council and everything else. Both of them are going to be successful in life. So that piece epitomizes what you want your character of your program to be and look like, along with the winning that eventually has to take place here. So I'm very, very appreciative of those two for fighting through. It's not easy for young people to go through what they've gone through and to go through it so long, but yet their energy, their passion, their ability to talk to this team, they've been outstanding coming down the stretch.
Q Johnson tonight, he put in a lot of catch and shoot situations, which worked out well for him, had a great shooting night. What did you also see from the defensive end as he was matched up with very talented Jaylen Brown tonight?
Well, I thought at times Jalen's kind of manhandled him a few times because he's got a bigger, stronger body, and I had a Q Johnson timeout there in the second half to have a little chit-chat with him about that, and I thought he responded well. But here it is again where Q plays well, Ike doesn't play well. You know, Josh plays well, Ike doesn't play well. Q and Josh, no Ike. Ike and Josh. It's just that consistency of having all of them on the same page at the same time. They've not hit that stride in a long time. We had a few of those games in the preseason, hoping to get them there with understanding how to win and consistently do it, but they're not there yet. And that's been very frustrating for them. It's been very frustrating for us. So you kind of reload again, come back at it again, and hopefully through the process we've been through, they will learn some things. And then when our opportunity to go play this summer, they will learn how to win, how to close, and how to be on the same page at the same time.
Wins and losses probably been one of the tougher years of your career, but emotionally, because of the character of the guys, has this not been the most challenging year of your coaching career?
You know, the reason that I came back into coaching was for the challenge. I felt like my brain was deteriorating. As much as I enjoyed doing TV, I felt like I needed a bigger challenge, and the coaching was it. So when I sat and talked with Bill, his big concern was, do you have the energy? Well, yes, I have the energy because I was running 3 jobs and literally traveling and spending maybe 2 or 3 days a month in my bed over a 6-month period of college basketball between the 3 jobs I worked. So my energy is good. The challenge is the thing that stimulates me. The challenge of people saying they haven't won here, you can't get it done, you can't recruit, you can't build a fan base, you can't get the students. I don't buy all that, because I think, again, you've had success here before in the past. It's a matter of building your program, and we know what we're doing, we know where we're going. Unfortunately, we didn't get there yet. Well, we've only been on the job less than 24 months. So if you look around at the conference, there's a lot of continuity in this conference with coaching, with recruiting, with fan base that we're starting to catch. We have to catch. And to do that, it's going to take some recruiting. It's going to take some off-season work and stuff. And at the same time, it's going to take you to keep your spirit in the right place. Tony Bennett told me at one point in time, he talked to his staff about getting me a group of guys that can handle losing for 2 years. And then they become juniors and they can turn it. And that's exactly what he did. So I don't look at it again as losing. I look at it again as learning and bringing guys through it, learning what we need to do, where we need to go. And that's the perspective. It's going to bother me. You bet it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. But at the same time, I have to keep big picture in mind for everybody. And with a couple more pieces, a little tweaking here or there, stronger. The conference is going to take a hit with graduation, who's coming in. You know, you're a little bit older next year. Maybe things flow a little bit better for us.
So that being said, what do a successful last 3 games of the regular season look like here?
Well, the ultimate success, you can win them all and still a game or 2 in the tournament. Because I've said all along, our postseason play is the tournament. And for us to be able to go to Oregon and play with them would be huge, because if you remember, last year we played Colorado and we lost by 30, I think. I never felt like we were in the game. And we came back and beat Colorado in overtime at the end of the season and went there and had them this year missing 16 to 27 free throws. You should have had them beat. And then you go there and Q Johnson has an opportunity to beat them again. That's growth. But to do that in a year, to come that far, we need to feel like we're gaining ground on the teams like Oregon and Oregon State on the road. We missed so many wide open shots over there. a Washington on the road that we had a chance to beat last year, but they're a different team in a different environment over there. So to me, the success will be is how hard we compete, and you feel like you're getting better and growing as a team, and ultimately if you can get a W somewhere down the stretch.
What type of feelings do you think you might get when you head back to Oregon this next week?
You know, the thing about Eugene, those feelings have already come and gone. People came out last year, it'll be a great environment, great game, but they're playing for a NCAA tournament seed, and they would love to be a 2 or a 3. So Coach Altman and those Oregon fans are not going to be nice to Coach Kent, I'll tell you that right now. We're going to have our butts ready to play, otherwise we can go in there and just get dominated.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug.